The Dingers podcast is on the air. I'm your host, Mitch, and this is episode 115. Boys, we just took a series from the Dodgers in LA. Who's got you cracking your beer? Who's your player of the week from Toppling Goliath? Got your cracking your Toppling Goliath beer this week there, Jeffrey?
I'm going with Justin Balls of Steele. We're shoving it every start this season. Just phenomenal out there on the bump. Kevin, who you got?
Yeah, for me, I got to go with Patrick Wisdom. I mean, he getting me all those dingers. I had his first 3 of the season. Happened to be all 3 of my first dingers for the dinger picks. It's been fantastic. I'm loving seeing him out there. He's got his stride back. He's got his swing back. He's got his swagger back. You love to see it. We just need a little more chain as he's rounding third base. Just showing it off a little bit. What about you, Mitch?
Mine is Seiya Suzuki getting back in the Cubs lineup. Much improved Cubs lineup with him in that order, and hitting a dong right away in game 1 that he's back. Even though he did struggle in game 2 and 3, but it's good to see him back in that lineup. And yeah, so those are my players of the week. And yeah, the Cubs won a series in Dodger Stadium for the first time since 2014. That's before the Cubs won the World Series in 2016. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, we won the World Series in 2016. But this is our 3rd straight series win. Justin Steele continues to be dominant. Patrick Wisdom keeps hitting balls over the fence. And Cody Bellinger has been just raking and being, since that first series in Chicago with the Brewers when it was really, really cold. Since then, he has been hot, just like the temperatures in California. Not here in Iowa. Temperatures in California being hot because it snowed where I'm at yesterday, like 6 inches.
Snowed here too. Yep.
So
you had 6 inches up there.
Yeah, I know. We had no school today, but then it all melted by like 4:00, so it was all good.
Right.
But what has been carrying this team has been our starting pitching. Kevin, can you dig into a little bit of why and how our starting pitching has been doing so far this season?
Absolutely. Our pitching has been lights out. It's been awesome to watch. It's great. I mean, against the Dodgers this weekend, we had Steele going first, 7 innings pitched, 8 Ks, 2 earned runs. Tyone getting some defense behind him for most of the game. 5 innings pitched, 7 Ks, 0 earned runs. Smiley even going 5.2 with 3 Ks and 1 earned run. Great series overall. So far, our starters have been fantastic. Stroh's got a 1 ERA. Steele's got a 1.42 ERA. Tyone is interesting. He's got a 4.5 ERA, but his FIP, his fielding independent, is 1.9. So he's actually the second highest WAR starter that we have on the team, even though his ERA is a bit inflated right now. So been very unlucky. He's doing great. Smiley's at 4.7. Wesneski, we're hoping for a nice bounce back, but overall, the Cubs starters as a team have an ERA of 3.11, which ranks 3rd in the season, 3rd overall out of all teams this season. I don't remember having a starting pitching group like this, like ever in my viewing years when I was paying attention. Overall, I don't know. What are you guys excited about from this crew? What are we seeing so far?
Jeff, start with you.
Oh, I just love the 1-2 punch of Stroman and Steele right now. And, Jameson has, he hasn't fared too well with, some pretty poor defensive alignments behind him, and it's kind of hurt a couple of his starts. And I really thought he pitched phenomenal. Was it Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Saturday. Game we lost.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that save got blown in the 9th, but you can't really put that all on Fulmer because we left so many runners on base and didn't knock anybody in. We had the 1 run.
Well, it was a ground ball that was like a foot or 2 off of a glove, and it would have just been a 1-2-3 inning, or would have gotten out of the jam.
And then you got Drew Smiley, who's bouncing back after a couple of rough starts. Don't worry about Wes Nasty. He'll be fine. I'm sure he'll right the ship. So, yeah, I mean, top to bottom, I think we're okay. That's my thoughts anyway. Kevin, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to throw it to Mitch, actually.
Okay.
I'm really excited with our 1 and 2 has been great. And we've talked about that last episode of how good it is to have a 1 and 2 at the top of your rotation that has been this solid. Like they have been best pitchers in baseball, pitchers at the top of our rotation. I've really liked what I've seen out of Tyone. I know the first 2 outings he didn't fare well, but he, like that FIP, he's been getting super unlucky. Players have not been squaring him up. He's still working, and his pitches are still working well. It's just he's been bad luck loser. On Saturday, he pitched great. He should have got the win. And so having him as a number 3 going forward, I'm kind of looking like down the road to have a 1, 2, and 3 that are that good. If Steele continues doing what he's doing, and Marcus Stroman, I mean, the thing that we can always go back on with a lot of these guys is what have they done in their career? Or is this Marcus Stroman has been a really good pitcher for numbers of years in his career, so you can trust that this is who he is. Jameson Taillon, the last couple of years, this is who he's been. He's been a solid pitcher, a solid number 3, and he's proven it. The one that I'm kind of interested in is, can Steele keep this up? Because yes, since he's become a baby daddy, he has been absolutely lights out. Since he became a dad, he has been crazy good. And now it's been almost a full calendar year. Can he keep that up? Can he make it a thing where it's continuous? And he's still young, but he's becoming where he's established. Drew Smyly killed it last year towards the end of the season. He's carrying it over to this year. Pitched absolutely a beautiful game yesterday. Spun a beautiful game, holding that Dodgers lineup down, which is a pretty good Dodgers lineup. So, and then Wisniewski, hopefully he bounces back tonight. They're playing in Oakland, which is good that he gets to, I mean, a lot of people were wanting him to get sent down to face AAA batting lineup. Well, tonight he gets to face that AAA lineup in the Oakland A's. So he's going to have a big bounce back game. I'm calling he's going to have 9 strikeouts tonight. Book
nice.
It. 9 strikeouts. So I'm excited with where we're at in our rotation. If you send Wisniewski down, I don't know who you would call up at this point down AAA. I know they sent Assad down to extend him out a little bit. Killian maybe, but he struggled a little bit in game 1 down there. So I don't know if any of those guys in Iowa are just like knocking on the door, ready to be up here pitching Major League Baseball. So why not have Wisniewski? I know Adrian Sampson didn't have a good outing down in Iowa's first outing. Right. I know it was cold in Des Moines that night. So yeah, I don't know. What I like is that we have Drew Smyly as our number 4, and he pitched an absolutely beautiful game. And not a lot of teams can say that with their number 4. And if Wisniewski can bounce back and just be solid, that's a good 1 through 5, and it makes you feel good about this team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm, we talked about the other 4 already, but Wisniewski actually for me is the guy I'm most excited about, just because you want these struggles now. It would have been something different if he came out and he pitched a couple really good games and then he goes against the A's tonight and just throws a bomb. And it's like, okay, well, what's going on? We don't know what's happening. He's faced some pretty good teams. He's had some struggles. It's nothing you don't expect from a rookie coming up and kind of getting his legs under him. And, along with those same lines, he's going to have the new power that we've been showing off. We've won 3 straight series. We got Wisdom hitting the dongs over the wall with all that power behind him. I think we're going to see some strutting tonight. I like your 9 strikeouts. I think that's right on. But with that power has come a little Cody Bellinger back, even with a gifted strike in his first appearance in LA. What do you guys think about him? How's he doing?
Jeff, what do you got on Cody Bellinger?
Well, he got off to a rough start that cold first series in Chicago, but he's heated up a lot. I think he looks really great at the plate right now, and he looks even better playing center field, flashing the glove. Had to have been one of the best plays on ESPN on Saturday night when he robbed Hayward.
Which I like. all the crap we've
Yeah,
given
with
Hayward.
Hayward. And he's going to
If
do
he would
that.
have, if he would have not robbed that, and like we would have to eat our words a little bit, and to say like they basically Hayward and Bellinger flip spots, and
Right.
if he would have like hit that home run in game one, I think it was game one,
That could
and
be, yeah.
if Bellinger would have had a bad series, like it wouldn't have been good for Cubs fans.
No.
So yeah, that he saved us there.
It would have been bad. No, I think we got a lot to look forward from Cody this year. I think he's actually finally healthy. I don't know if a lot of people know it, but in their World Series season win in 2020, like he had a really freak shoulder injury celebrating his home run in the Game 7 of the NLCS with Kiki Hernandez. That sidelined him. He had pretty extensive shoulder surgery. And then I think the first game of either 2021 or 2022, one of those seasons, he fractured a leg at first base on a play. So he's been battling some stuff, and he went through a whole bunch of things to try to fix his swing or adapt his swing to his front shoulder being surgically repaired. But I actually just think he's got some mobility back, and he's able to swing like he was before the injury. So I think he looks just phenomenal. I don't know. Mitch, what's your take so far?
Well, since that first cold series against the Brewers, Cody Bellinger is batting .310, a .517 slug, a 149 WRC plus. His walk rate is 10.4%. Like, and he's cutting down his strikeout rates. So like, it's just, that's what I'm seeing is I don't want to get too excited for Cody Bellinger, because like I'm trying to like, okay, this is great. We're getting what we want out of the deal with Cody Bellinger. But when you think about what he adds into this lineup of being a left-handed power bat that we desperately need in this lineup, we need a power left-handed bat. And then seeing him take Julio Urias deep yesterday, like that's an elite pitcher. And he left on left, and he took him deep. Like that gets you super excited that you think, okay, Cody Bellinger's back. Like we are getting the MVP, Cody Bellinger. And even if we don't get the Cody Bellinger or the Cody Bellinger of 2017, the MVP season, if we can just get league average out of him, out of center field, that's going to be a higher WAR than all the guys we threw out there last year. And he's going to help us make a playoff run. Like I'm super excited for what he's doing out in center field, playing great defense, and just his bat in that lineup. Like that's huge. What do you got, Kevin?
I don't know. He's got his swagger back. It's fun to watch him play again. He looked a little lost, especially in the cold of Chicago that first series. But since then, he's got the swagger back. It's nice seeing, no major gaffes out in center field, which has been great to see, not have that happen. Not bringing up Saya, but it's nice having that there, and not having a fill-in guy and just having like three fill-in guys like we had last season, just rotating through Morel and Velasquez, and I don't remember the guy who was with the Yankees or were just cut by the Yankees.
Ortega.
Yeah, Ortega. Like almost felt like we had three guys we just kind of rotated through on a day-to-day basis because none of them were daily guys. And now you got Bellinger up there just taking care of business, loving seeing the home runs, loving seeing the doubles. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's on a 6-game hitting streak, batting average 348 in those 6 games, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, an OPS of 1.080. Like it's the longest hitting streak of his career since 2021. So like that, you just gotta love what you're seeing out of Cody Bellinger. And I mean, that's what we want to see. We want to see him in the middle of our lineup, hitting dingers, and the 1-2 punch of him behind Wisdom. Like that's huge. Right, left, him being able to drive the ball to all parts of the field. I love what he provides in this lineup. And like I said at the beginning of getting Saya into this lineup, what it does, and it just lengthens that lineup of having Nico and Dansby 1-2 at the top. Like that's book it.
Lights
them
out.
them at the top of the order, book it every single day of the week, them two at the top, setting the table for then you have Hap, Bellinger, Wisdom, Mancini. And I know there's a lot of talk of why not now? Why not bring up Mervis now? And I get it. I get it. But if the Cubs were to wait like they did with Anthony all the way to June and him absolutely tearing the cover off the ball, hitting like 346 in Iowa during that time with a dozen home runs, they're going to maybe wait and be patient with Mervis and make him show what he can do. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, but I think where we're at, this lineup is still, it's moving along. Are we one question is, are we a little bit too dependent on the dinger right now? What do you think?
Possibly. I mean, it seems like we hit him in gobs on Friday night. It's like, can we save some of these for a closer game? Like, we could use another dinger or two on Saturday.
Yep.
Do we have to use 5 on Friday?
I think we seem to be a team that is very big on punishing pitchers. If the pitcher misses their spot by a little bit, we will punish it and just send it out of the park. But when we face certain pitchers, like, I mean, the outlier was Urias the other day, but when they're on and we don't play small ball well, then we seem to struggle a little bit. It's like we have two modes, but we can't switch. Like we'll play small ball this game and we do really well, but then we get dinger heavy and we can't play small ball after we start swinging for the fences.
Yeah. I mean, Friday night was fun seeing all those balls go along. Jan Gomes hitting two. Like
it's crazy.
Like, you know, whenever I think about picking Jan Gomes for the dinger picks and I don't, he hits 2 home runs.
Well, at this point, you should just go Patrick Wisdom every time, because every time one of us picks Patrick Wisdom, he goes bridge over. So, and he went 3 homers in 3 games in LA. I mean, maybe he just likes that California vibe out there. Like, I'm trying to wear sunglasses right now because putting out the California vibe. He's loving it right now. So, I mean, who's picked him tonight?
Jake. No, Jeff has him.
Jeff has Wisdom here for the first game in Oakland. So I'm expecting Wisniewski to have a bounce back game and probably Patrick Wisdom
at least one dinger
to go yard tonight. But when we look at this offense, something that has been, I mean, it's been all across baseball, but something the Cubs have been utilizing a ton is stolen bases. Across baseball, the stolen base efficiency right now is 80.5% efficient stolen base without getting caught.
Wow.
If runners keep successfully stealing at this rate right now, they're going to set all sorts of records in 2023. League last year was at stolen base percentage will be the first time that's over 80% ever in the history of a success rate. And I think about like MLB history, Ricky Henderson. Mm-hmm. If Ricky Henderson in his prime was right now stealing bases this year, how many stolen bases do you think Ricky Henderson would get? I think it's possible he could get 175.
Isn't that just nuts? Like,
probably. I bet if he went 4 for 4 at the plate, he'd end the night 4 for 4 with 4 singles and 6 stolen bases.
Yeah.
He'd be on third before you knew it.
Yeah. Fun fact, Marquise Grissom, MLB leading 78 stolen bases with the Expos in 1992, is a total that has only been equaled to one major league player since then. And that is Jose Reyes of 78. And right now, Nico Horner is on pace for 92 stolen bases.
Jeez.
So we haven't seen over 78 since 2007. And before that, we haven't seen over 78 since 1992.
What is Ricky Henderson's single season record for stolen bases? Is it like 120 something? Because wasn't Lou Brock like 118? I remember he broke that. Ricky Henderson broke that.
130.
130.
130.
Our bases.
There's got to be somebody in baseball that will get to that this year. There has to be.
I don't think 130. That'd be a lot. But with the new rules, like here's some things that I want to point out. Stolen base success rates in 2023 without a pitcher disengaging. So like, let's say he doesn't pick off at all, doesn't do any pickoff attempts. The percentage of stolen bases being successful is at 73%. If they step off or one disengagement or throw over one time, the success rate is 81%. If they've thrown over twice, remember, if they throw over twice, now they have to go home. The success rate of stealing that is 100% right now.
How many times did you sit and watch somebody try to pick somebody off? Like they throw over there like 6 or 7 times and then they bat
Right.
before.
Yep.
And now you know after 2, all right, this bonehead's got to go home.
And did you know that steals are like crazy up for stealing third base?
This was nuts. I didn't know about this until today when you were talking about it.
And it took until this Thursday was the first time a player got caught stealing third base. So like the success rate of stealing third base is super up. And when I relate this back to the Cubs, like we are seeing Nico Horner. He has 8 stolen bases on the season in the first 13 games. No Cubs player has done that in the first 13 games since 1906. Jimmy Slagle in 1907. Horner was caught stealing for the first time this season yesterday, which just want to say that was a balk. Urias basically went home, stepped home, and picked over and picked him off, which gets counted as a caught stealing. But that was a definite balk. Like I was listening to on the radio, and both like Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes was going crazy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to check this out. Got home, went back and watched it. Definitely a balk. So even that, he should be perfect right now in the stolen base category. No caught stealings, but he's on pace for 92 stolen bases. For reference, the Cubs franchise record of stolen bases in a season is 84.
What? That's it?
Yep. By Bill Lang in 1896.
What the hell?
I don't know if that's a typo.
Right?
That
quick.
You mean 1986?
1986, maybe. I don't know. I looked that up. That number looks weird. Anyway, Tony Campana was the last Cub to steal over 30 bases.
2 centuries ago, Mitch.
I know. It wasn't 1886. I found that stat somewhere, and that doesn't make sense. Anyway, Tony Campana was the last Cubs player to steal 30 bases when he hit that number in 2012. The next player on the list is Juan Pierre with 58 in 2006.
Didn't Tony Campana like steal most of those bases as a pitch runner in the 9th?
Yes, or late innings he would get thrown in there. But the thing is, like, what I'm trying to get at is like stolen bases are crazy up. The rules of the pitch clock, like Jeff brought up pre-show, like the pitch clock of them kind of knowing when to be able to get a lead and get a jump has helped out a ton. I think just having Napoli over there, like Napoli's gotten some really good reads. I think yesterday he picked something up on Urias, and when Horner got a jump and got a steal, and then Dansby Swanson got a steal, like he's getting some good reads over there. Napoli wasn't a big stolen base threat. He was a catcher. He did play a little first, and he's just a smart, intelligent guy. And so I think having him be the first base coach has made a huge difference of helping guys get good jumps. And I want to see more stolen bases. Like I think
it's exciting.
It is. It's super exciting. It's reminding me of 90s baseball, 80s baseball. Like when there was a ton of stolen bases, action. It's great. So what are your thoughts, Kevin? What are your thoughts on all these stolen bases?
Quick thing. It was 1896 with Bill Lang.
Good Lord.
Yep. Isn't that crazy? Holy smokes.
Wow. Were there cars on the road back then?
That's why he was so fast, because they didn't have cars. He had to run everywhere.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested in how many games that was that he potentially
Atlanta.
would have had.
They played year round.
I'm loving this base running. You know, it's interesting because I remember last year. Remember how many gaffes and what toot blands and crap like that we'd see around the base paths. Like the last 2 seasons, we had it all over the place. But I really think it was to prepare this. What's up, Jeff?
So what's a toot? Remind me what a toot bland is.
Oh man, it says nincompoop in the name. Hang on. Toot bland.
Total loss of
thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop.
Okay. All
right. But I'm loving it. It's fun to watch. As soon as a guy gets on first base, you immediately pay more attention to the game because there's more than likely that guy's gonna try for second, or at least the pitcher's gonna pick over or be looking. Everybody's paying attention. The camera zooms in.
Yeah.
You're seeing how much of a lead he's taken. I'm loving it. And I love that we've got Nico out there just spinning the wheels. You know, I'm guessing we're gonna have a couple other, anybody who gets on base on first is getting that sign.
Right.
Starting to take some runs.
Just for reference, even on Friday, Jan Gomes had a stolen base.
Right?
He's had 8 stolen bases in his career of 12 seasons, and he had 1 yesterday. I bet he ends with run. I bet he ends with 8 this year.
Oh,
that's
good.
Book it. Joey Betts, put it down on tap bets. Put it down because Jan Gomes is going to get over 8. He's going to double his career.
I don't think he will, but that's just because he's going to hit so many dingers. He's never going to be on base.
There you go.
Jeff, what do you think about all this base running?
I love it. I think it's really exciting. And we brought it up when somebody gets on first base, you pay more attention. Like, I don't know how you guys are, but I'll normally follow something else on my phone that when I'm watching the game on my TV. And as soon as somebody gets on first base, like my phone goes down and I'm just, when's he going?
Right. Is it now?
Right.
Is it now?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's awesome. I think this style of baseball is what kids should be watching.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, like I coach basketball in the wintertime and everybody wants to shoot threes from the parking lot like Steph Curry. And I'm like, that's not how basketball is meant to be learned or played. And like all kids like want to do is hit stuff over the fence. They just want to hit home runs and trot around the bases. And that's not really how you should learn baseball at a young age. You should learn all the fundamental, like even bunting. I can't believe I just said that, but
I love that.
I feel dirty.
Scott brings up like all the extra stolen bases reminds me of Little League, and I love it. Like, yeah, Scott, like it does. It reminds you of a lot of Little League that there is a lot of movement on the base pass. And I know sometimes Little League it's because pass balls or the
fielding
catcher doesn't have an arm to be able to throw, and you're like, all right, I'm on third. If I get a base hit, I'm on third for sure. But like it's getting where there's action and where teams have to play maybe a little small ball. Even like yesterday, like Horner steals a base, gets on second, and then they hit a little dribbler and he ends up scoring when he gets to third after Dansby moves him over. Like that manufactures last year he wouldn't have been on second because we wouldn't have stolen the base. And so it's just providing those opportunities, and we're going to see teams use it a lot more. Like I just think back of like pre-2016, there was a team of the Kansas City Royals that lived off of stolen bases and being super fast. They had one of the best defensive teams in baseball in the outfield, but all of them were super, super fast and they stole a ton of bases. And you're seeing that like kind of play out this year with different teams. We're still seeing a lot of home runs, but we're also seeing just a little bit more action in the game, and I love it. I hopefully Nico set some records for the Cubs, and he's on my fantasy baseball team, and he's getting points for me like crazy with the stolen base category. So I love it. Like I love every time he gets on, it's like, hey, he's either going to go on the second or third pitch, and hopefully Dansby struggled in LA. He did
the first game.
He struggled in first 2. I think he struck out 8 times in the series.
It was like in 9 at bats, 8 Ks.
Just calm down. It's a game and a half. It's fine.
But like just to see like, okay, if they're going to start doing a little hit and run and like shoot it through that hole, I mean, get him on third, first and third, and then Hap is going to drive him in or Wisdom. So yeah, it's what you want to see this Cubs team doing, and it's getting you super excited about the possibilities of what this team can accomplish. Because I think now, like, we're far enough into the season. I know it's still small sample size, but we're getting far enough in where we're starting to see all the moves that Jed made. They're definitely working. They've worked to what Jed wanted. He wanted Tyone to shore up the rotation, and he's doing that. He's lengthening that rotation of how many good guys you have to face. Getting Bellinger adds a power left-hand bat. Trey Mancini is a great clubhouse guy, can kind of move around the field, not great defense by any means, but he has good bat to ball skills. He does the small things that you need. Just who we've got around, getting Dansby Swanson, a leader, somebody that sets the tone of this is how we're going to play, and we're going to play to win. It's working, and it gets you to believe, okay, this team can compete. We can make the playoffs. And so I know at the beginning of the season, we had our predictions of how many wins we were going to say that the Cubs. I said 89. You remember my bank story? Do I need to tell my bank story
right.
again?
No, I remember the bank story. That was good. That's right.
89 win. I think they can still win 89. So I'm sticking with my 89. Do you guys want to change your prediction after this far in the season, seeing what this Cubs team is capable of? Just know we're going to get 3 here in Oakland. Easy peasy. Calling it.
Yep, it easy.
Sweeping. So, Jeffrey, what do you got?
All right, I can't remember what I said.
I think he said 85.
I was
maybe
somewhere
83.
Somewhere between 83 and 85, maybe 86. I don't know, but I'm gonna go one better than 89, and I'm gonna go 90.
Woo!
And I'll tell you what. If I was Jed Hoyer, I would really wish my name was Jethro Hoyer, and these are the moves that I would make. All right, I'd call up Matt Mervis and start him at first base, and I DFA Hosmer. Nothing against Hosmer. It's just I want to see Mervis. I need some Mervis in my life. That's right. Or if you don't want to DFA him, maybe we could put him on the IL with some sort of suspect injury, like a nagging.
Those nagging back injuries.
Yes.
I have a tweak right here. Yep, nagging back injury. Ooh.
I got one of those right now. I might not make it to work.
Possibly pulled hymen. I don't know. I'd call up Morale, and I'd start him at third base. Why? Because we need his energy. The dude is a firecracker. All right? He's just full of life. Loves
too
the
much
game.
for Iowa. It's too much energy.
Way too much for I know the S's are silent and the city's buzzing, but we need that kid in Chicago. And then after that, I'd send down Madrigal, Torrens, or Rios, and I would put Wisdom at the DH. That's what I would do.
I like it. Just full time. Wisdom at DH. All he has to worry about is just hitting bombs.
That's right. That's it.
I mean, he's played a pretty good third base this year.
He has. He's a lot better defensively, but I don't want to wear him out. You don't have to play defense.
Just hit bombs.
He's got to trot around those bases. I mean,
right.
I get it. I like it, actually. I mean, you have a ton of range to move in Morale at third base, put him back in his natural position.
That's right.
I like what you're thinking there, Jeffrey. What about you, Kevin? Do you remember what you initially predicted?
I think Kevin predicted 500.
I think it was 87.
Like a bitch. No, you did not pick 87.
I definitely didn't pick 500. I picked.
You were 81 and 81, and you were shaky at that.
No way. No way.
I wish Eric would remember.
87. Anyway, I like 90. I kind of, you know what? I would just want to be a little better than you, like I am in the dinger picks right now. I would say 91, is where I'm going. Patrick, just worry about Wisdoms. Nice, Ron. Love it. But I like all of your stuff from Iowa. I think all of those guys coming up is the right place. I think the Hosmer experiment's probably about done, ready to move on. I don't know what to do about Mancini and, the Mankini stuff going on over there on Cubs on Tap. Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes it just doesn't. Quite, it's a little pinchy in the gooey bag, I believe.
Here's a rule. Just because something fits doesn't mean it looks good. All right.
I remember, I think it was J.C. Penney's had this ad way back in the day. It was like, if it fits, you feel it. Well, I don't know that I want to feel that.
I don't either.
Oh, nice, Scott. But yeah, I love the Morel starting at third base. I'm not sure every day because I still like Wisdom over there a bit. Maybe give Morel a breather. Maybe Morel just gets a DH day every now and again or something. Or maybe he's just he's mostly at third and then he gives folks a breather around. Plays center field a day to give Belly a DH day, stuff like that. But otherwise, Jeff, I totally agree. I'm kind of done with the Hosmer thing. I'm talking myself into it. Bye-bye.
He hasn't played that bad, guys.
I
I mean,
he hasn't. He hasn't played that bad, but like, how long can he keep it up?
I mean,
We got some fresh young talent,
right?
down
Ron
there on
says
the
that
farm.
he's got an ingrown toenail and it's just going to flare up one of these
eating
days.
green grass, ready to come up to Chicago.
I mean, I've liked what Eric Hosmer has provided this.
That's his first name, Eric.
Eric
Oh.
Hosmer. You didn't even know his first name.
I didn't want to get too attached.
Are you Ron Swansoning him like deliberately? Like,
yes, he is.
I'm gonna call him the wrong name on purpose just to prove that I don't like you, and I don't.
I didn't want to get too attached. I honestly did not want to get too attached. I don't even know what color
You
his
saw the
hair
writing
is.
on the wall. You're like, okay, I know we have Mervis in the background. He ain't gonna last the whole year. I'm not gonna learn his first name. He's
He
been
kinda looks like
around forever, Jeff. Like,
He kind of looks like a Dale Hosmer.
Dale. All right. Next lineup card I put out there, it's gonna be Dale Hosmer. Just to see if anybody catches it. I like it. But yeah, I mean, it does. The way the Cubs are playing gives you a little bit of hope. And like, I know we're always at the beginning of the season trying not to be like overly optimistic. Like, okay, like, hey, let's watch ourselves here. Let's not get, but like, they're playing some good ball. And when you win a series in LA, in your last 3 series, like, you can start feeling good. Like, Cardinals are in last place. The Brewers just lost Woodruff. Like, things are looking good for the Cubbies.
Like, for
right
good
now.
or just the season?
They're gonna shut him down. He has some things going on with his arm. So they're gonna wait to like look at the report when they get back to Milwaukee, which I think they were going to today or tomorrow.
They found the needle marks from the
So-
steroids.
No, not Woodruff. I mean, he's drank quite a few beers. I don't know if he's done any steroids. Braun isn't around there anymore to be able to provide. But like, it opens the door of what the Cubs could do in the Central Division. The Pirates aren't good. They just lost their starting shortstop. The Reds, they're horrible, and they just lost. Hunter Green took one back to the shin and had to come out of the game. He's their best starting pitcher. So like, things are looking good for the Cubbies. So I feel like we're in a spot where we can feel good. We can start thinking, okay, now what do we do? And I know there's a ton of reports out now, like, why not just move Mervis up now? And maybe Jeffrey, maybe you're right. Maybe now is a good time to just move him up. But also, like, I know what they did with Rizzo in the year that they were planning on moving him up, and they waited till June. I think it was June 25th before they called up Rizzo. And I want to say he was batting like 346 at the time in Iowa. And I think he had like 20 home runs or like maybe 14 home runs. I don't know. He had quite a few home runs.
Could keep the ball in the yard.
And so I don't know. And that was during the live ball AAA season when the ball was just flying out. So I don't know. Morel. Would you bring up Morel at this point right now, Kevin?
I like him. I mean, I want to see him on the big league club. My middle son starts baseball games tomorrow night. We were talking about taking a big Morel breath in his at bats and stuff like that. And he said he's been working on that. Make sure he's kind of comboing. I showed him the Ian Happ episode the other day where he's talking about he's like looking at his bat and breathing on his bat to prep himself. And I was comboing those together. I don't know. I like Morel. I would love to see him on the big club. I don't know that he's done with what he needs to get at Iowa, though. I don't know that the batting side is not the part I think that he really needed time at. I think it was settling him in positionally.
And I think you needed to cut down the strikeout rate, which
true.
he hasn't done too. He is still
right.
King
He's still
quite a bit.
strikeout.
But
pretty good.
you got to have a
Iowa.
place for him to play every day.
And that's, I think,
Like,
the problem. I don't know where he fits
Which
in the lineup.
the way you kind of had it set up, Jeff, like of making those moves and having Wisdom just DH and hit dingers.
You got to make those moves to make that move happen.
Yep.
Like, you can't just bring him up for the sake of bringing him up. If one day he's going to play third and the next day he's going to be over at first, or maybe he's going to play short, whatever. If they want to be the third baseman, you got to make that spot available. And you got to make some tough decisions. Jethro Hoyer would make those decisions. I don't know if Jed's ready to pull that trigger yet.
Yeah. Well, let's do a little look ahead. So the Cubs are playing the A's tonight. Hayden Wesneski is on the mound. Like I said, I'm calling it. Did I say 9? 9 Ks?
9 Ks.
9 Ks tonight.
Yep.
So
9 times.
9 Ks. Tomorrow, Marcus Stroman is on the mound, and then Justin Steele is on Wednesday. Tonight and tomorrow's night game is at 8:40. I hate West Coast. Dude,
my
God. It sucks.
I got to get up early tomorrow.
Right.
We got to work. Why are we playing these games so late?
Even on the weekend, they're late as hell.
Come on. Yeah, like I get it. Like, but time zone, like West Coast just needs to be like mountain. Like just you can't go that far. Like that's too much. Yeah. And then Wednesday's game is at 2:37, which is great. Like I can end my Wednesday of professional development during school watching the Cubs game, with Justin Steele picking up another dominant win. So, yeah. Jeff, did you have anything?
I have a quick question. I have a quick audible question.
Yes, go for it.
So I was doing a little research. Roger Hornsby has the record, according to Baseball Reference, has the record for runs scored in a season at 156. Nico Horner is currently at 13 runs scored now in 14 games. Do you think he could go for 156?
Oh. He's got to stay injury-free. Like, because back in those days, those guys, it didn't matter how hurt they were, they played.
That's a good point.
It didn't matter. Like, they could have been bleeding, and they would have played.
Yeah.
That's maybe one to keep
They could have
an eye
lost
on.
a digit.
I would love to see. That's going to be a one to have to track because that would be great.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, I don't remember what we were talking about, but it got me thinking about runs, and I got looking into it. We have 4 players above 10 or double digits. Nico at 13.
Run scored?
Yeah. Nico at 13, Wisdom at 11, Swanson at 10, and Bellinger at 10.
How many one-run games have we had this season so far? 2, 3?
We've had the one LA. We had one versus the Mariners that we won, and then we had just those 2.
Dodger one. Yeah.
The Dodger one we lost by 2.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, they're scoring in bunches.
Yeah, I mean this offense has been great.
Sorry.
So
it's better than what I expected. I'll say that.
All right, Jeffrey, do you have you can't fix stupid?
I do. And it's a dandy.
It's not about me, right?
No, it comes all the way from across the pond in Belgium.
Again, this is
I just gotta ask. You guys growing up, do you guys have like family board game night at your house?
Yeah. We do even now.
You do.
My son loves what he calls his Candy World.
Candy World.
Not Candyland, it's Candy World.
Shoots and Waddas.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, anybody play Monopoly? Any Monopoly households?
I hate Monopoly.
Yeah. A fight usually breaks out, right?
Yep.
So anyway, so over in Belgium, one early morning or late night, there was a group of people playing Monopoly on the sidewalk under a street light, I would imagine. I don't know.
Like you do on
right. I mean,
on Friday game nights. I mean, Kevin does it all the time when he plays D&D. He goes
That's
outside
right.
to the street light.
You go to the end of the driveway, Kevin, and play some D&D.
He dress up in
No,
costumes.
we don't do the LARP thing again.
When he's an orc or a wizard, he wears.
Are you a level 14 paladin?
Nope.
No. All right. Anyway,
not yet. Not yet, Kevin. Growth mindset.
Growth mindset. Nice.
All right. So these people are playing Monopoly on the sidewalk at 5 a.m. in Belgium.
Does it list their names?
No.
What do
no
we
names.
think their names are?
Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Stewie. Who knows at this point? But anyway, so they get pissed off at each other playing Monopoly, and they cause a fracas. So one of the homeowners who lives nearby comes out to try to tell them to, shut up because it's 5 a.m. and they're fighting over Monopoly on the sidewalk. Well, they kind of get to pushing and shoving, and then one of these people busts out a katana sword. I will say this. The people playing Monopoly are homeless people. So if you're going to
katanas,
yeah, they have a katana sword, and they have a Monopoly game.
I think didn't the story of that it was the homeowner's son?
Yes. So then later, like a few moments after the dad comes out, like the son comes out with like a stick, a big stick. I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to speak softly with it. So they kind of get into a shoving match.
Probably a bow staff.
Kevin knows about bow staffs, right?
Here we go. Keep going.
So they get the kind of a shoving match, and the scabbard, if you don't know what that is, slide into Kevin's DM. He can explain what a scabbard is. Gets damaged. Somebody gets a cut. And then it goes a little farther. Somebody gets stabbed. Anyway.
With the katana.
With the katana. So one of the homeless guys and the homeowner's son wind up in the hospital. And the son winds up with serious condition, with serious wounds that required like a lot of medical attention. The homeless
gets him in the artery.
That's right. The homeless dude walks out with minor injuries. You really cannot fix stupid. Stay away from Monopoly.
But who won the Monopoly?
It doesn't say who won the Monopoly game. I'll tell you what, whoever probably had Park Place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's you laying on that, somebody owns that. You're in deep.
You're in deep trouble.
Deep.
Yep. Well, there's our can't fix stupid. You know who's not stupid? Patrick Wisdom, because he's gonna go yard tonight.
He better go yard.
Bucket.
It's my first opportunity to pick him this year.
Kevin is leading the dinger picks right now with 4.
Jeff
has 3.
Only one behind.
Jeff has 3, and Jake and myself each have 2. Been kind of on a cold stretch. Hopefully I'll get back on track.
Charging back into it. He was at 0. Now he's at 2.
Yep. The last one to get one, but now he's picked up 2. So yeah. Fun picking the dinger picks. Pick them along with us on Twitter. If you don't know, now you know. Every day we pick our dinger picks. So pick along with us. But yeah, that does it for episode 115. The game is just starting. Go watch the Cubbies in California and Oakland playing in the Coliseum. Hopefully they get a sweep. We get a bust out the brooms and we get another series win. So go Cubs. And thanks for listening to the Dingers podcast.
Hey, if you guys got hit by a baseball in the batter's box, where would you want it to hit you?
Left cheek.
Right in the cheek, right in the meat.
Right in the meat, the cheek.
Yeah,
maybe the hamstring.
I think that's what I'd want too. I think the arm would really hurt.
Right? It's
or the shin.
No bones. Bones hurt a lot.
Take it right off the tibia.
Oh.
Right.
I could take it in the quad.
Right in the quad.
Oh yeah. But are you twisting into it?
I'll just right in the front of my quad. It would just hit, and I would just flex really, really hard, and I'll try to hit the baseball.
Oh, have you seen those ones where people get hit and then they show it going over the fence like a home run?
Yeah.
Yep,
I'd flex really hard. Dingers. All right. Thanks for listening.